It's me again. Today's date is December 21st, 2022. It's a Wednesday. It's very cold here in Texas, and it's supposed to get much colder Thursday night. Drop down into the low teens, high tens. It's going to be like 10 degrees here, which has most of Texas scared. And I've been rushing to try and prepare for the farm. I'm waiting on this hay guy to show up. Hopefully he can deliver hay this morning. He hasn't texted me yet, saying he's on his way. I hope he is soon. And let me preface this by saying this is not financial advice. This is entertainment, which is why I wear a costume. Are you not entertained? Also, wearing the costume makes editing these videos much easier because the costume puts a smile on my face. So, this past week has been a maelstrom of misinformation from brokerages trying to stall time to get these shares. As of this morning, people who direct registered their MMTLP with the transfer agent, AST, still have yet to receive their shares of Next Bridge Hydrocarbons. Although we did have this 8K that was released yesterday, which says, yes, the spin out is complete. As a result, it's no longer a spin out company, it's its own thing. You know, once the spin out happens and it breaks away, it's no longer a spin out, it's its own company. And yes, the shares were given from the company to the transfer agent. Okay, now we're waiting for the transfer agent to dole out the shares. While we are waiting, people are putting pressure on their broker, which I personally think is great. Let's hold these brokers accountable. IBKR is a brokerage that does international. You can be in many locations and use IBKR. They seem to be a bit more proactive, although this email is floating around to Miss Morris that talks about CODs. And there's a lot of misinformation and misconceptions about what a COD is. It's not cash on delivery. You will not be given $2.90 in your account because of this. I'm not sure why it was discussed in this letter when it doesn't pertain to the customer, you and I. When they mean participant, they mean DTCC participant, like a brokerage, not as in a participant as we are as customers. Let's go over this letter. It says, Mrs. Morris, according to DTC note on December 13th, participants, remember, participants are brokerages, are advised DTC is pending receipt of certificates from the agent. Okay, that's basically the certificate of Next Bridge. They can be electronic. Upon receipt, the DTC will complete a certificate of demand to exit our participants. That means if you look at the DTCC website, if you wish to withdraw a security from the DTC, as Next Bridge Hydrocarbons is not DTCC eligible because it's not going to be traded. It's a not trading company. It's a private company. Hence, to withdraw from the DTC and not make it DTC eligible, you need to do this withdrawal process, which is where the certificate of demand comes from. It means it's a receipt saying you withdrew the security from the DTC. That's all it is. It's a receipt saying, yes, the security has been withdrawn from the DTC and it is not DTC eligible. DTC will continue to monitor and update this event accordingly. The process of pushing out the certificates can take some time. These are the certificates on demand. Depending on the agent and situation, we move the ticker to the corresponding symbol to NXBR, but the registration isn't completely done yet. Okay, again, they're waiting on the certificate of demand and the whole allocation of Next Bridge shares. In the meantime, they've assigned this contra or this escrow share to your account to act as the interim to hold your place. As previously mentioned multiple times, Next Bridge Hydrocarbon shares are not transferable and non-tradable. Hence, why you have a withdrawal from the DTC and you need a certificate. I think this person is explaining to the customer the intricacies and the technicalities of how this process works from their point of view, getting a private company. But it does not mean you're going to get cash on delivery and your shares are going to disappear and there's going to be $2.90 in your account. I'm not sure where the correlation on those two events happened in relation to this. This was brought up to me several times yesterday, and I thought I'd make a video to go over this. Like I said, there's a lot of misinformation out there. Brokerages, when you talk to a customer service representative, they largely don't know what's going on, the situation of what's going on, and they're given a script. The script could be in hopes to give you busy work to leave them alone. That could very well be the case. They could try and send you off on a wild goose chase. Or they could tell you what usually happens when a corporate action happens. But our situation is unique because one, we were going private, and two, we didn't have the last 2 trading days available. Hence, none of the shares were reconciled. And I know it's a public reporting, but not tradable company. Public reporting means, yes, they still have to report publicly because they have more than 4,000 shareholders. But in terms of being a public company, you can't just go out and buy a share of it right now. It's private. It has more than the threshold of shareholders to omit reporting. John Berta gave us a little bit of a mini update on the situation of MMTLP. He says that they will be talking with attorneys later this week, the next few days, sometime that's close to Christmas, about this, which is great. They're working during that Christmas break. In 2021, when the preferred share was released, many people were crying, where's my dividend? Where's the dividend? Where's the dividend? Many people were doing that. Some people didn't receive their dividend for several weeks. That's the preferred share before it became MMTLP. And a lot of people were very scared doing the same thing. And a lot of people are starting to feel defeated. And it's okay if you feel defeated. It's okay to have these feelings. Like I said, know your emotions. Don't say hide your emotions or don't trade with your emotions. I personally find that phrase silly because that's not going to alleviate any of the situation or give solace to anyone experiencing the situation. I personally say know your emotions. And if you're feeling down, that's okay. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Shorter video, but I wanted to go over that COD. It does not mean cash on delivery. It means certificate on demand, which is part of the process of not making Next Bridge Hydrocarbons tradable. It's not DTCC eligible, so when brokers get their shares allocated, they get a certificate of demand. I will see you soon. Goodbye.